All right, everybody, it is day 8, and I am your host, Cinephile Mike, your friendly neighborhood cinephile, and we are continuing on with Indie Week. I mean, come on, who doesn't love indie films? And today is no exception. And this is one of the more interesting ones that I have seen this season. I mean, who doesn't love a good love story, right? Well, today I am talking about Mubi's drama Passages. Yes, I said Mubi, Mubi, a film company that a lot of people don't know about with their own streaming service where they get some of the greatest independent and American indie films. So check that out if you haven't had a chance to yet. But Passages, directed by Ira Sachs and written by Sachs along with Maurizio Zacharias and Arlette Langman, Passages is a film that is currently sitting with a box office return of $1,103,374. A small amount, and this is almost equally distributed between domestic and international, with the international box office being slightly higher than the domestic by a whopping $152. Now, Passage is currently nominated for 4 Independent Spirit Awards, including Best Feature Film, Best Director, Best Lead Performance for Franz Rogowski, and Best Supporting Performance for Ben Whishaw. Now, it should also be said that Rogowski was nominated for this prize at the Gotham Awards, and he was honored with this prize by the New York Film Critics Circle. And the film also had some extra love from the Gotham Awards because it was also nominated for Best Feature. Now, Passages opens on a film set where we see German filmmaker Thomas, played by Rogowski, putting the finishing touches on his film. It's the last day of shooting. Then we quickly cut to a rap party where he's in a good mood and he's trying to get his husband Martin, who is an English printer, played by Wishaw, to come and dance with him. But his husband doesn't want to dance. So with this refusal, his offer to dance is quickly picked up by school teacher Agathe, played by Adele Exarchopoulos, who is a friend of a member on the film crew, hence why they're all at this rap party. So they go off and dance. Martin goes home. The rap party becomes an after party at Agathe's house. And before we know it, Thomas and Agathe spend the night together. Now, this isn't a spoiler. The rest of this review is spoiler free, but that's about the first 10 minutes. That's a catalyst of what's going to happen. Because now we are going to see how this decision for him to sleep with Agathe now impacts his marriage to Martin. Suffice it to say, everybody may not necessarily make it out of this unscathed. Now, this film plays out over the course of a few months in the stories of these three, all trickling from the aftermath of this one night. And that's really all I can say to keep it spoiler free in terms of the plot. So, I do want to talk about the screenplay, though. I mean, this screenplay is a very tight piece that moves at a very expedient rate, just under 90 minutes, not including the credits. Now, this may seem short to kind of cover this story, but it's not. We learn the journey that these three characters go on from their fractured relationships, additional relationships that pop up, and one other, well, small thing, which I will just leave there to entice you to check this movie out. All of these performances are very, very strong, and especially Rogowski. Now, normally, when you have a character who's the cheater, they're not usually the protagonist or the main character we follow. Usually, we're following the one who was cheated on. This film flips that trope on its head. Now, Rogowski gives us a character who, in one moment, is such an awful and selfish character, and you just really want to dislike him, but then he'll say or do something and you flip and you can't help but feel sorry for him when he explains what he's doing and why he's doing it. Not saying that there aren't better ways to do some of the things he does, but this is what makes him so intoxicating to his two loves, Martin and Agathe. It's the human condition that, sometimes we're in relationships that are not the best thing for us. And Sachs and his other screenwriters really do paint this picture. It raises that question. You have to wonder, would either of them, Martin or Agathe, would they be better with him? Would they both be better without him? And if it were, who is the right one for him to be with? These are some of the questions that you'll ponder at the end of this film. And it's one of those films that kind of leaves things very interesting. Now, as a result of being put through this turmoil, I have to say, Wishaw and Exarchopoulos do give us two very deeply lived in characters who are very emotive on screen, and you can't help but sympathize for both of them as they're going through this journey. This film is a very incredible character study. Now, the recognition that the script has been receiving is not a surprise to me. Now, will it have enough clout to get a Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars? I'm not sure because there are a lot of really strong indie films, some of which are a little bit stronger than this, as well as major motion pictures. But it is being nominated a lot and being recognized in the indie scene. We have a very realistically crafted story that deserves to be recognized. And the nice thing about this is, you might think that the genders of the characters are playing into this, but it's not. Really, this is a love story about the people. It doesn't even matter about the fact that, there's a same sex marriage and this woman that comes in between. Those aren't the parts that are doing this or causing this issue. So it's a very nice, mature way to handle it. It's not about, the gender of a person, it's about the love of a person that you have. So it's a great way to tell the story. And, it asks the question, who is the person that you love the most? Who is the person that loves me the most? How does that make them feel? How does it make me feel? If we are unhappy, what's the best thing for us to do? Now, Passages for me is that excellent film that gets my, a rare 5 out of 5. Normally during award season, a lot of films get 5 out of 5. If I were to rank everything I watched throughout the course of the year, it's not the case. But this film is one that I have revisited more than once and was interesting to get a few different things out of it each time. So if you are interested in watching Passages and haven't seen it yet, it is available VOD, and you can also catch it streaming on Mubi. Again, MUBI. As always, thank you for joining me today and keep on coming back for all the award season goodness. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to the channel and follow me on all social media platforms. Also, live on the Facebook page and also in the bio on this channel, you can check out the Where Can I Watch This spreadsheet where you can get all your award scene information with award dates, nominated films, what has been winning awards this season. And I'm going to do a quick plug for next week. When I wrap this little mini series of the indie film 7 days, I'm going to be jumping into some of the documentaries. Yesterday, the International Documentary Association announced their winners, and many of those nominees and winners have found their way into the best documentary category at the Oscars. All right. So with that, as always, I am Cinephile Mike telling you to take a break and watch something new.